Hello, my name is Jennifer Duffel, and I'm here to present my research project, which is Self-Management, the Essential Method for the Success of Students with Autism Spectrum Disorder. When we were first told about this assignment, I was a little overwhelmed. I'm a second-year teacher and a first-year special education teacher, and there's a lot of things that I don't know. And even though I did know what a theory or a method and a strategy was, for some reason when we tacked the word autism to it, it just made me nervous. I didn't feel like I knew enough. But something that I do know is that I'm very passionate about my students. I'm the current 9th grade co-teach at Russellville Junior High, which means that I have several special education students, many of which do have ASD and other health impairments, mingled in with the general education students. And something that I've realized is that my students are glaringly aware that they're different, and not in a good way. They're very insecure. They realize that it takes them 3 times as long to do an assignment. They struggle comprehending instructions. They need a lot of help. They have social outbursts. They are socially awkward and can't pick up on cues. They're going to be the ones who stare, or they're going to be the ones who say something inappropriate. Or on the opposite, they're not going to get the joke that the other kids say. And they understand that they're different. They don't maybe comprehend exactly why, but they know they're different. And it makes them sad. Another issue is this feeling of self-helplessness that they have. I don't know if it's learned, but it's so ingrained. And I don't want to blame previous teachers or family or anybody. I don't know where they got it from. But none of them seem to believe that they are capable of much of anything. They don't think they're intelligent. You can hand them the easiest assignment and they're going to say, I can't do this. But the thing is, I know they can. They are capable of so much. They are so smart, but they don't see it. And one of the other issues is that, and primarily with my ASD students, is they struggle with anxiety. If we change the plan a little bit, it throws them for the rest of the day. Or if something goes wrong in the classroom, they can't cope. And all of these issues are gonna affect them for the rest of their lives if we don't do something. I'm all about this idea of normalizing my students as much as possible, not because I want to change who they are as a person, because they are wonderful, but because in order to succeed in life, especially post-high school, they're gonna have to learn how to cope and how to negate some of these problematic behaviors. For example, very few of my students right now would be able to read the directions on the back of the chocolate chip bag and make cookies. They couldn't balance a checkbook. They couldn't learn a new skill for a job. They wouldn't be able to follow directions to get to an apartment. Living at home or living on their own would be something that they're very capable of, because my kids as co-teach, they're high level, they're high functioning. But as they stand right now, they just could not do it. And so I wanted to find something that helps these problems. And so, to be honest, I went to Google. I didn't know what theory or method would be best suited to help these issues. So I just started typing ASD students with social cue issues, or how do I help a student with autism spectrum disorder acquire a skill? How can time management be bettered for ASD students? Because let me tell you, time management, that's probably our biggest issue. And when I was Googling all these things, I just saw one phrase popping up over and over and over again, and that was self-management. And that's honestly how I picked my topic, because it just seemed to be the one thing that helped all of these issues that I'm so passionate about. And so if you want the proper definition of self-management, according to Cooper, it is the personal application of behavior change tactics that produces a desired change in behavior. The way I made sense of this was something that applied to me, which would be dieting. So I have chocolate cake. I love chocolate cake. I go home and I eat it every day. Well, that's pretty problematic behavior because I'm going to gain weight. So I identify the problem, which is eating chocolate cake every day, and then I set a goal, which is to lose weight. So what do? I cut out the problem, which is eating chocolate cake. And once I stop doing that, I lose the weight and accomplish my goal. And then I probably buy myself a dress as a reward, because let's be honest, you need a reward. And so that's essentially all this is taking a bad behavior and replacing it with a good one. And so with self-management, the great thing is it's basically a plan. And if you know me, I'm a planner. I don't think you can be successful if you don't have a plan. And so there's basically 5, sometimes 6, I believe 2 of the steps kind of go hand in hand to self-management. And the first one, as I said, is you have to identify the problematic behavior that needs to be changed. We can use the example as time management. A student may struggle getting his work done in class, and so that's your problem. Then you got to set a goal. The goal for the student would be to finish in the allotted amount of time. And then you have to take action. How are you going to do this? Several of the studies that I read through talked about cues, specifically visual cues. One of the ones that I read was fascinating to me. It was a man that's invented a watch, and it alerted students. It would show them, you have 5 minutes till class is over, or you have to be at this location at this time. It was almost kind of like Blackboard, how Blackboard alerts us that there is a day left before this assignment due. That's basically what this watch did. But it also would buzz or flash a light, and it was just a cue, and you could set it up for different things. And so you find some method, and it doesn't have to be visual. It can be audio. It can be a peer. You can have a student beside them, just tap them and say, hey, you've got this many minutes. Hey, you've got 10 more minutes. Hey, you have 5 more minutes, and so forth. So after you start working on this, you then have to monitor. So I was a little nervous about this part, because how do you let a kid self-monitor? Everything I saw at first, was video, which is a great way, but I was, I didn't want a cell phone up here the whole time in class. So after talking with some of my administration, we just came up with the idea of mounting a camera in the room, of course, with parent permission. And which this is all hypothetical right now, but if we do get to do this, parent permission would obviously be needed. But you would film them every day, and then at the end of the class, or maybe at the end of the week, you and the student would get together, you would watch the video, and this would give them a perspective of what everybody else sees. And so maybe they would begin to understand, and they could evaluate themselves. After they monitor, they have to evaluate themselves and tell, how do they think they did. This needs to be a simple evaluation. One of the things I'm a fan of is just a small scale in the form of maybe an exit ticket. That's just 1, I did not accomplish my goal. 2, I almost accomplished my goal. 3, I did accomplish my goal. And I think this is something that the teacher and the student definitely needs to do together. I think they both need to fill this out. And if the teacher and the student come up with the same answer, they kind of know they're on the same page and they know where to work towards. And if a student accomplishes his goal and the teacher agrees, you have to reward them. There has to be some motivation to do this. No one would want to do this for no reason. And so this can be a monetary prize, which would be more geared towards the elementary, middle school. And honestly, I think my junior high kids would still love it. But there has to be some kind of reward. But the reward that I think always has to come is a public applause of some sorts. My kids light up when I tell them that they did good in front of everybody. When they get bragged on, it kind of helps with that issue of, that insecurity. And it makes their day. And so you have to reward. Now that's the basic plan of self-management. It's an easy process, but it's so applicable because here's the thing, you don't have to be a special education teacher to do this. This can apply to any student. And self-management is great because it's not just a one-time deal. You accomplish your goal, well, you know what you do? You set another goal. You find another problematic behavior, you work through it, you change it, you reward yourself, and then you do it again and again and again. And this is a process that you can carry on, a skill that is going to benefit you for the rest of your life. And that's why I'm so excited, because these kids that struggled, that would have had a hard time getting a job or would have had a hard time maintaining relationships, they're going to be able to, at this point, because they will have been doing it for so long, spot those problematic behaviors, and they're going to know what to do and how to change them. And that's why this is exciting. I think every teacher should utilize this method. I think it's genius. I'm so excited for the new semester to start because this is the first thing I'm going to do is implement this process, because I have several students that I know could benefit. I'm actually really sad because I have a couple students that are rotating out this semester that I think need this as well. And so that's why I find all this important though. It helps these kids in every aspect of their life. It prepares them. It helps them acquire new skills. It gives them a little bit of confidence and self-worth. And with this, it strips away those levels of anxiety. When they get things done, when they accomplish things, well, then they don't have to worry about it. And so it just works together for their benefit. I am excited about this process. I hope you are too. I hope you and whoever else listens to this video decides to give self-management a try. It is proven, it is evidence-based. There needs to be more studies done about this, and it's exciting. Anyways, I would like to thank you for listening, and have a wonderful evening.